All right, guys, what is up? What is up? This is Miss Doyle. So, what we're going to be doing today is the early republic's president station activity. So, you're going to be researching 6 of these U.S. presidents. And how you do that is you're going to go through the document and you're going to fill in the blanks. So, first off is George Washington. So, let me exit out of this so you can see my screen. You're going to click on the links right here in their names. Okay. You can either click it and it takes you to another screen, or you can click preview. I prefer to click the preview. It's way easier so I can simultaneously work while this is here. Okay, so again, this is the reading. You can do whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and close it, and I'm going to open it to a different tab, just like so. So now if you see something in red, I have put as an example so you'd understand how to actually do this. So for each president, you're going to put years in office. Now, when I say years in office, I am not talking about when they were born to when they died. I'm not talking about 4 years or 8 years. I'm talking about the actual years they served from, so 1789 to 1797. Then I want to know their political party. Well, first of all, George Washington didn't have a political party. He was unaffiliated. So I went ahead and I have answered number 1 for you because it was a little difficult to figure out, and I wanted to make sure you understand. So anything in red, you definitely need to read. So what are the 3 things Washington warned us of? We must stay together as a nation, meaning we cannot be divided. We have to unite, because if we are divided, then somebody else could come in or we would be destroyed. Then we need to avoid political parties because they will divide the country. So political parties, we end up butting heads. I mean, think about this current election, think about the past election. Are we really offering the best there is out there, and are they really representing what we want as constituents, by meaning people? Now, political parties, okay, that goes from the state level all the way up to the big dog presidential level. So I'm asking you here to tell me your opinion of Washington's advice. So I'm going to go ahead and give you the answer for the Whiskey Rebellion too. Hopefully you're still watching. What was the tax of 1791 supposed to do? Well, that is a tax on whiskey. And why was it important, and what were the people's reactions? Well, first of all, the people were very upset because didn't we just have the American Revolution? Didn't we just go to war because the king taxed us and we didn't want to be taxed? So the people decided they would throw the Whiskey Rebellion, and George Washington took the U.S. Constitution. Remember, the Articles of Confederation was the first Constitution, but it sucked and it gave no power to the federal government. But anyway, so it gave George Washington wanted the U.S. Constitution to show that the federal government actually had power. So they sent their militia in, they quelched the rebellion, and they proved that the federal government could tax, that the president had the power to lead the country, and so on and so forth. So essentially, why was it important? Because it gave the federal government power and the ability to tax, and proved what the executive branch had to offer. Now let's go to John Adams. Okay, I've given you the answer to the Alien and Sedition Act. Make sure you read it because it's going to impact you for the next question. What is the Federalist Party? Don't forget to answer years in office and political party as well. What is the Federalist Party? Well, first of all, okay, they believe in a strong central government. They want the most of the power to go in the government. They also believed in loose interpretation of the Constitution, meaning if the Constitution doesn't say I can't, then I can. Meaning the federal government can do anything they want as long as the Constitution doesn't do that. So that's very important, and it's going to ultimately determine what the U.S. Constitution look like. So you're going to answer these. Make sure you click here to access the document. And let's go ahead and scroll down to Thomas Jefferson. I'm going to try to make sure I give you one answer per each person. Thomas Jefferson was an anti-federalist. So when the Constitution got created, the first 2 political parties were Federalists versus Anti-Federalists. We already know Federalist believes more power should go in the federal government. Well, the Anti-Federalists believe all the power should lie in the states, meaning they believed in a strict interpretation of the Constitution. If the Constitution doesn't say the U.S. government, federal government can, then that power resides within the states. Think about the issue of marijuana. Do you think that is a federal choice or a state choice? Meaning if it's a federal choice, it is all illegal across the 50 states, or all 50 states can do it. There's no in between. But right now we have it to where it's a state's choice, meaning constituents choose. And what constituents mean is the people are choosing in each state whether to legalize the issue of marijuana. So Thomas Jefferson said states should be able to do that. The states should have more power than the government. And not only that, when the Constitution was getting created, the Anti-Federalists are the reason why we have a Bill of Rights. Super important that you know this. Going to give you some more answers. Louisiana Purchase. We bought that from France. Why was it significant? Because it almost doubled the size of the U.S. Okay, and there's another reason, so make sure you read it. Click the links, read the rest. Let's talk about the Monroe Doctrine. Okay, one that you definitely need to know is what the Monroe Doctrine was. Monroe Doctrine pretty much said that, hey, we're tired of European countries coming over to the Western Hemisphere. By Western Hemisphere, I mean from Canada all the way to South America. We're tired of them coming in and colonizing. So if they come over and colonize anymore, we will go to war with them. And in exchange of them not being involved in the Western Hemisphere, we will not be involved in any European affairs. So it was a way of them staying out and us staying out. Well, what ended up happening is Spain goes down to Cuba, tries to colonize them. We end up going to the Spanish-American War, which we will talk about later. Last but not least, what is the spoil system? That is where a government official is giving a job in the government just because they're friends. You can do a fancier one. And once you finish all those, you're going to go to the very last one where it says wrap up. You're going to choose one president and write a journal entry like you are that president, describing the choices you're making, who you are as a person, so on and so forth. When you're done, that's all you're doing for the rest of the day. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Please let me know if you need any help. Email me or get on the Google Meet. Have a great day, guys.